Hello, we're here with Suyesh Sharma, and we wanted to talk about TaxDome and how TaxDome has been a help in your business. Suyesh, I wonder if you could start by giving us a bit of an intro. Tell us about your background, what you do in your practice.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Joe and Zoe, for having me here on this call. It's a pleasure, of course. TaxDome, I've been using TaxDome for a while now. I mean, since July 23, I guess, if I'm spot on. But yeah, July 23 since when I started using TaxDome. So it's almost around 2 years now. So we are like an accountancy practice, which where we do a lot of tax work. We do a lot of company related compliance work as well. And everything that comes along with the package actually. So bookkeeping, payroll, accounts, personal tax returns. So yeah, pretty much everything.
And can you tell me, like, how large is your practice? How many clients are you managing at the moment?
So currently we have around 300 plus individual clients and maybe around 100 plus limited companies.
Amazing. And so I guess they're all different sizes. That sounds like quite a complex workload to be managing. And what were you, before you were introduced to TaxDome in 2023, how were you managing the workload and this having that overview of that client base? What were you doing before you started using TaxDome?
Well, that's the problem we had actually. So before TaxDome, we had different tools that we were using. So we were using Signable to send for signature, then extracting document from TaxCalc, which is our like the main software where we do everything. Then having everything on a OneDrive, and then using emails. Actually, email was our everything at that point in time. But and plus email is as you all know is extremely prone to attacks and cyber attacks and all that kind of thing. So I always wanted to have something more secure where
Mm.
I don't have to lock it and do the PDF locking and all that, which was taking our time so much. Like it was a
Mm.
brain drain,
Yeah,
honestly.
I like
Just
that. A
ask.
brain drain.
Yeah, no, seriously, I hate
Yeah.
that doing like going and then adding a password into a file. Like it's a
Mm.
useless exercise. So that was one of the biggest thing. I wanted to change something so that so I can just literally send anything what I want to. I don't have to think about anything. So we wanted to come out of the email communication, and that was one of the biggest reason why I looked into a CRM software which will offer also like a client portal where we can upload and share documents on one space. So
Mm.
yeah, that was one of the major things, and that changed quite literally after we started using TaxDome.
So how long has your practice been running? And like what was, you said about the email thing, but was there a moment when you thought, I have got to find another solution? Because how long was you running your business with emails and PDFs and all of
I mean, to be honest, my practice is very, very new. In April 22 is when I started. But yeah, luckily, I have been in the right domain niche where I do a lot of tax planning and those kinds. So I've got good referral system in place, and I've happened to get a little bit decent number of clients. Uh, so that's how I actually started in kind of 22, and I was doing all this through emails, and in so I wanted to consolidate all these actually. So I had to look for something, and I went to DAS in 2023, and that's where I met Samuel there on, and yeah, I really liked the product, and that's how I kind of started using it.
Amazing. Oh my goodness, like there's so many questions we could ask you about growing your practice because you've done an incredible job of building that client base. So well done. Can you tell me so when we know Sam very well from TaxDome, he's an amazing member of our community, and I'm sure that he got you like in there looking at the software straight away, ready to sign up. How was it moving over from all of those different, I suppose, disconnected services and bringing that data into TaxDome before you could start actually using the software?
So I think one of the one of the most important thing when I was discussing with Sam about how I will start using TaxDome was the ease of connecting with the support, and that they are available with kind of no restrictions actually. So they can jump on your call and help you on board. They'll help you import. So we did take a lot of help initially, but once we got the hang of it, the support documents on the website and all that is quite easy. And you can reach out to them via like a chat or something, so they come back pretty quickly. Yeah, there is a bit of a lag because of the US UK timing, so sometimes you have to wait. So that's kind of a little bit of a bottleneck, maybe, if you really want to have the time sensitivity. Otherwise, I think it works perfectly. You just have to wait a little later, and then you can connect. So that is how that reassurance that it's not going to be a chargeable thing, and that
Mhm.
you can leverage our support. That's exactly what we did. So we worked with them, and we got a big like the main templates to import everything in one go. And we were up and running, and at the time we started, we obviously didn't have exactly the number of clients I just mentioned. So we were slightly smaller, but
Mm.
we had enough data to not go ahead with something complex, like
Yes.
moving everything into something. But I think that should not be a major constraint for anybody who wants to start using TextDome. I personally felt that.
Yeah.
So
If for somebody that's not so in the UK, TaxDome is pretty like it's newer in the obviously it's much bigger in the US and it's like a new market for them. So obviously, you've gone into this and you saw the opportunity there. What would the key if someone's not seen TaxDome before as a platform software, what would you say the highlighted if someone's trying to compare it to something else? What are the things that it does for you that you were looking for? Because people hear the word tax in the name and think, oh well, I'm not, I'm a bookkeeper and I'm not dealing with that. I'm not dealing with all of the tax elements, or I'm doing self-assessment, but not. What are the areas that this software helps you with in your business?
I think that's a good question, and because it would answer broad spectrum of people who want to kind of explore TaxDome. So one of the reasons I wanted to look for something was, as I was mentioning, like a one-stop solution for many of the things, and to give that client experience, the customer experience. So that was one of the I think the platform, the portal, and the whole thing as a package is pretty good, and pretty much flawless, I would say, because we have had like response from our customers. I mean, I don't know if you had a chance, but if you go and look at our Trustpilot or Google reviews, excuse me, you will see there are clients who have mentioned specifically about our portal. So because you can white label it, it doesn't come across as TaxDome. So everybody thinks that this is Meta's portal, like Meta's website extension. And the way we have built this in our system is we have given like a sign up link on our website. So if you go on our website and click sign up, it will just open up as if you're going into a different section of our website. So it looks really big for anybody who is joining us. They feel really confident that these guys are not someone from the corner, because you're asking them to create an account with them and giving them a sophisticated system in place, which then it gives reassurance to the client that you're dealing with someone well equipped, basically. So that portal setup and everything, and the game changing thing for us was the integration in our landing page, because currently we have automated our onboarding. So this was one of my biggest problem, and we used to, and we still onboard quite a lot of clients every month. So it was a big task for onboarding and then managing things here, there. So we had this all consolidated on our through the TaxDome portal. So I think there are so many things I would, it's just there are many things that has helped us. You when we started using TaxDome in streamlining our operations. But yeah, this one is amazing, and this will work for anybody. For example, even a bookkeeper, let's say, I'm sure even a bookkeeper needs to do the AML checks. So they need to get all the initial information about the client. So you can create like an onboarding organizer and ask for all the important information, and then add like options to upload the documents, and even like a selfie with passport. So
Mhm.
ours is like fully compliant kind of onboarding organizer on its own. So even if we can get away with not doing sanction checks, we don't even need anything. So it's pretty much everything within that one piece of onboarding organizer. So that's one thing.
Amazing.
Then of course, sharing of information, like on one platform where you can share information with client and get it there, so it's all at one place. So that's another great thing, even for payroll bureaus, or even for bookkeepers, or anybody who wants to exchange information with client. That's brilliant. Then everything in one place. So if you want approval, signature, you can just use TaxDome. I mean, I can talk so much because we use TaxDome day in, day out a lot. And this morning we had an hour call with our team, and a lot of it was to do with updating our organizers and changing few things on TaxDome. So it's a work in progress, because you always want to upgrade your systems and the way it's working to make it more effective and effective.
It sounds like this has really become core to your operations as a business. And I love how passionate you are, because I can see that this is like the hub of every workflow. It goes, you're in here, your clients are in here, your team is in here. Everyone's got that view, and any piece of any communication that needs to happen between you and the clients can go through TaxDome. Can I ask you, did you look at other options when you brought TaxDome in? And I wonder particularly how this compares from a pricing point of view, because we had a really brilliant run through with Sam around the how bookkeepers can be using TaxDome in their practices and their bookkeeper specific functionality. And I just wondered how competitive you feel this is as a software solution for a practice.
That's a very good question. In terms of pricing, most of the CRM systems, if you look, are priced pretty much in the same range, or maybe higher. And there are some which are cheaper and maybe better as well, or similar. I don't know, because I haven't looked at. So at the time when I was looking at, this was one of the most reasonably priced, giving me all that I wanted. So that was one of the reasons. So I looked at Carbon. I think I looked um, at that time I looked also, not the Grow Proposal. There's another one.
Engager, maybe. I mean, they all move so
No, no,
fast,
no.
don't
The
they?
Engager was not even live at the time.
Okay,
There is another one. I can't remember the name.
that's
Uh,
okay. I suppose I'm
Ignition,
not.
Ignition. Yeah,
Okay,
Ignition or something.
yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. I suppose
So
I'm
that's
not.
the other one.
I didn't want to. Just to be clear to other amazing software vendors who we love in the industry. I didn't want to sort of get them in like a features competition. I'm just curious because I think so often with our bookkeeping community, the focus will immediately go to I can't afford to bring that into my practice. But you have demonstrated on this call how you've replaced various different tools you were using with one system. And although on the face of it, it may not have looked like a competitive option, actually, when you're able to replace all of those workflows, and like you said, even just the time you're saving on 300 PDFs you've got to add a password to, you're clearly making efficiency gains by bringing that in. So I just wondered, as a general sense, did it, and it sounds like it did it feel like a good investment for you, almost like a no-brainer to spend the money on this instead of something else?
Yeah, I mean, one of another huge time saving that we found using TaxDome was, when we have to send a client a draft accounts or a draft tax return, and then they will say, "Oh, this doesn't work." so maybe we have to update it again, and then we have to update it again. So when this used to happen before, it would have been a nightmare for me and my team, that oh no, we have to now change everything again, then we have to password protect it, send it, or do whatever. But in this one, it's pretty good. So you just instantly go delete or just add another one and send it for approval, and it's instantly available for approval or signature. So that was quite good. So yeah, coming back to your point, yeah, I mean, I did look at some other options, but honestly, now it's been 2 years, so I don't remember so much in detail. But this ticked all my boxes, and the support was good from this beginning. I connected really well with Sam. He took time to understand my requirements. He explained how TaxDome would be able to help us, and it did. So
Yeah.
yeah, so I
Do
really
you
like that.
think, like you've spoken about growing your practice in a short space of time, do you feel that TaxDome has been fundamental in you being able to scale this quickly in that short space of time?
No brainer. Like, it's yes, big time. See, I think TaxDome
I
as a
really
game
thought
changer
you were
for
going
me.
to say, no, no, it's not helped at all then. But
No,
no,
no, no.
yeah,
It was. It was the only reason. No, so we didn't have many. I didn't have many employees. I was on my own, and I had one more person to start with. Okay, and at that time I was struggling with so many systems, and then we got TaxDome in, and it was so much for us. It streamlined so many of work, that we were able to, then I was able to go and get more clients without any worry, because I know now I can manage everything in a pipeline. So that visual control was so crucial for our growth. And because then you feel confident that everybody is under control. No one is slipping off the track or something, or falling through the cracks, as they say. So
yeah.
so once you have that peace of mind, then it gives you a lot more confidence in what you're doing. So yes, it helped us immensely grow our business quickly.
I think that was one of my biggest struggles with practice management. I sold my practice a couple of years ago, but there was a point where I was running it through one practice management software, which was then sold, and there wasn't the development, so I moved it away. And at that time, again, it was August 23 that I sold, so about the time that you was looking, I was desperate for this one-stop shop that gave me visibility of what was going on with my clients and with my team and where people were on the onboarding. And it sounds like that you have a very clear, and you said that when it gives you the confidence then, because no one's disappeared. There's not going to be someone that's screaming at you saying you've forgotten me, because you've got that visibility. Is that how it makes you feel?
Yeah, absolutely. And you see, at Meta Accountants, we really focus on customer service. Like, this is our core. So I'm trying to deliver a service which is different from every normal accountancy firm, and everybody says that, but the way we work is really, we mean it. So when we connect with any client, we want to give them a good experience, that they're being taken care of. So that's where, whenever I had, like, if I had the opportunity to take on more clients, I would think actually 2 or 3 times, because will I be able to give them that service? I don't want people being unhappy that, I sent you a message and you're replying after 4 days. No, we don't want to do it that way. So we have a very strict policy of replying within 30 minutes if anybody contacts us. So that has become possible because of TaxDome, because we have made sure that when anybody joins us, they use TaxDome as the mode of contact to us. So it works really well because everything is controlled there. And so in terms of responding clients in 30 minutes doesn't mean we are going to solve their problem. It's all that we acknowledge, and people are very happy on that. So that was one of our main reasons, when you want to grow or scale, that I'm able to give that level of service to them. So that was another point, that was, we were able to achieve that, and we are currently able to achieve that because of continuously using TaxDome in the most efficient way.
That's amazing.
But there are many things, and there will always be scope for improvement. And that's not just TaxDome, and it could be any software you take right now in the market. So there are things like that, and I continuously, whenever I speak to Sam, I will tell him some of my feedbacks. So you also have the opportunity to raise a feedback or raise a flag or something with the TaxDome developer team that you want this functionality. So then at least they have their in their list. So we do try and update that whatever we require. And so just like that, I spoke to Sam at the Accountex recently, and I was telling him about I think we need AML integration, or you need to offer AML right in TaxDome, because you want to reduce number of systems that you're using. Even after using a CRM, you still use many, which is not
Mm.
good.
And I
So
love
that's what
that.
I mean.
Yeah, I know from speaking to Peter, for example, the team are so receptive to feedback, and I think that because they're a small team, they don't have investors, that it's all organically driven. They're always thinking like, what do we need to do next? What do we need to build? And they can build really fast. So whenever we
Yeah.
speak to them, there's always something different happening, which is brilliant, and it just shows from the way you've grown your practice, like you are also like continuously learning and thinking, how can I do better? Because what you said about the way you want your clients to make sure your clients are using TaxDome, Joe and I always say you are continuously marketing to your clients. It's not just about bringing clients into the practice, it's also all of the touch points you have with your clients are marketing opportunities, because in terms of retention or additional services that you can sell. So providing this really slick, white labeled, if you like, process where you are seen as someone who's really got those robust systems, and it shows that you're established and you've really thought about the customer
Yeah.
experience. It adds so much to a service that can be very overwhelming and daunting for lots of our customers. So
I mean,
it's fantastic.
we getting reviews and being mentioned, and our portal being mentioned there, and not because I'm asking anybody. So in our review system, we don't really ask that what touch points you need to tell us. We just ask, just share your genuine experience of working with us and our team. And then a lot of our customer reviews, you will see people are talking about our systems and our portal being so nice. One of the clients mentioned that, and there are a couple of them, they have mentioned this to me, and one of them wrote it as well, that I've worked with so many big accountancy firm, because I work with a lot of high earning individuals in like IT companies, and people who are expats moving countries. So they use PwD or Deloitte or anything like those kind of firms for their initial tax return. So when they used our portal, they were like, we've used like top four portals, and they all have glitches, and yours was spotless. Like from onboarding up until you submitted the tax, and there was nothing that I had to complain about. Everything was flawless. So this is an amazing feedback. So and feedback is everything. And as I said, it's in black and white. You can go and check out our reviews. There are many which says about our portal and our online systems. And one of the big reason is TaxDome, because we have embedded it really well in our system. So we one of the most amazing thing about TaxDome, and I have so many to tell, but one of them, and another one, is that the system where in the pipeline, you can just have all different stages, and then at the end of every stage there is a trigger which sends an email or a message or a text to the client saying, okay, we got your information, we are now working on this. So when we move it, it says, okay, it's now been done, now it's on internal review. So now that's done, now it's under our final review. So the client doesn't need to chase us. They know where this, and this was one of the biggest reason I took TaxDome on. That was one of the biggest, and it really helped, because then people they are not behind our back saying, oh, what's the progress, where are we chasing? And now on the TaxDome there is like a sticky note which comes up on their side of it saying where your job is currently. So that helps as well. In
I love
marketing, it has been a game changer, because we can just send one message to everybody, or one particular message to just P11D clients, or for example just for people who would do payroll only, or for people who are or the companies where we are only doing VAT returns. So we just use the right tagging and we can send one message to everybody in like instant. So that's another amazing thing that you can achieve. Probably that is achievable by other CRM softwares as well, but I use TaxDome and it works perfectly. So I really like those. There are so many
Amazing.
others.
I love those features. That is absolutely incredible. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us about your practice and how you're using TaxDome. For anyone who is thinking of finding out more about TaxDome, I think you're ready now. Head over to the website. In fact, we have a special offer underneath here, which we'll share underneath the video. So if you want to find out more, you can go and have a look at that as well. But yeah, thank you so much for your time, and look forward to hearing about your next amazing successes. Thank you.